My wife abandoned our daughters when she thought someone had broken into the house.
My wife, 34M, is a stay-at-home mom. Last week, while I was at work and our two older kids were at school, 5M and 3M, she was sitting at the dining table when she suddenly saw a man walking up the path toward our front door. She thought he was holding a hammer. She ran to the door, and the guy was trying to come in. He saw her, waved at her, and kept trying to open the door. She ran out of the house through the back door. She left her phone and her Apple Watch behind. She also left our 8-month-old twins. They were asleep in their cribs. She ran around the neighborhood looking for someone who could help her call the police. Eventually, she found someone, and they called the police. The police arrived and checked the house. It turned out the man was a repair worker who was supposed to go to our neighbors. He had been told that no one would be home and that he could just walk in. She's angry at me for not being supportive enough. I was shocked when she told me what happened, and even more surprised when she said she had left the babies. She keeps yelling at me about how I don't do enough for the kids, unlike her who is always sacrificing. I don't think that's true, but that's not the point. We've had serious problems in our marriage for a long time, even before this. She's acting like this was one of the most traumatic events of her life, and that frustrates me even more. I'm finding it very hard to get past this. If that man had been a bad person, she would have left our daughters behind to be hurt, just to save herself. Our house isn't that big, and both neighbors and people online know we have 2 little girls. Honestly, I don't know what to do. Edit. This happened about a week ago. I spent about an hour on the phone with her that day, trying to calm her down. I tried again that evening and was taking care of the kids and doing all the housework. She focused on what I believe is working from home, but she lies to me about it and tries to hide it. She also goes to bars with her friends. She doesn't believe in therapy and refuses to attend the family counseling I arranged for us online after the kids go to bed. One major problem I'm dealing with is the double standard. If I had done what she did, she would never forgive me and would probably divorce me. We had an argument once because when we moved into our new house, my side of the bed was farther from the door, and I needed to be the one to stop an intruder. She yelled at me for abandoning our daughters when I take a shower in the morning before work and they start crying, or if she's sleeping and one starts crying while I'm changing the other's diaper, and it takes me a minute to finish. I fully understand that this was a fight or flight reaction, and I'm not trying to criticize her with hindsight. I didn't criticize her. The closest I came was expressing surprise when she said she had left the girls. Other than that phone call or the moment I got home and she was irritated that we don't have security cameras, we haven't really talked about it. Second edit, she had her work phone. I texted her to check on her, and she told me to call her, and that's when I found out about everything. When the kids are asleep, that's usually the phone she uses. It's a single-story house. It's shaped like an L. The doors are at one end of the L and the kids are at the other. I don't know how long it took her to get help. It was during work hours and most of our neighbors work. It's a walkable neighborhood, not somewhere isolated. I'm going to therapy now. In the past, she mocked me for going to therapy and uses it to invalidate my opinions. What do you know? You're just a depressed case. So there's no way she'll go to therapy. The police had a social worker with them who gave her a therapist's business card. Update. Hello, everyone. I wanted to thank you all for the comments and advice. I'd like to give an update. In short, things are not going very well. I feel like a pilot trying to land a plane that's falling apart around him, and that it might be time for me to eject. I also realize how much I've normalized these problems and that what I considered good days in my marriage would be, at best, mediocre days in most marriages, but more likely terrible ones. Since that post, I've truly tried to do everything I could to support her. I think I had already been doing everything I could to support her. Whenever she wants to leave, she can. I do the majority of the housework, which means laundry, cooking, groceries, and the morning and evening routines for the boys, who are school-aged. We have an informal system for washing dishes and bathing the girls. That part is close to 50-50. I also pay all the bills and handle all the extracurriculars. One of the comments people made was that she had just given birth 8 months ago and that I needed to be more empathetic. I completely understand that. But since she gave birth, she has run 4 10Ks, a marathon relay, and attends a running group and dinner afterward twice a week. She has also been going to networking events for the business she's working on. Since that post, we've had a lot of problems. We've had more days with yelling than... Well, here's a list of the issues since the original post. On Saturday, she woke up early but didn't wake me and my son for his early practice. I slept through the alarm. She did nothing to help us get ready. Her only question when we got back was, "How late were you?" As soon as I got home, she went back to sleep. I had all 4 kids, which is fine. I took the kids to the store to do the shopping. As soon as I got back, she went to shower and then left, refusing to take the kids even though they were crying. She refused to tell me where she was going. On Sunday, she refused to go to hockey practice because she needed to clean the house. While I was parking at the rink with my kids crying in the back, she called me because she had hired someone to clean out our garage and wanted to know where we were going to move the stuff. This was the first I'd heard of it. The woman did a good job cleaning the garage, but she threw everything into the trash bin, including unopened shirts. On Monday, we had a nuclear blow-up. My oldest yelled at me to make him a second helping of food. I tried to trick him into going to bed without it. He walked straight to her, and she overruled me. As soon as they left the room, I explained what I was doing, and she threw her laptop onto the bed and started yelling at me. She followed me from room to room, screaming in front of all 4 kids that I'm a whiner, not a real man, and that I'm trying to starve them. The funny thing is that this was right before our family counseling session. I kept the appointment, and while I was in the virtual waiting room, she kept yelling at me and attacking my character. When the session started, she refused to join. She was tinkering around doing something. I tried to be as objective as possible, and the counselor said she was impressed by that. In the last 5 minutes, I tried to bring her my laptop. When I did, she recoiled into the room she was in like Superman seeing kryptonite. She refused to participate. After that, I went to bed, and she woke me up because she wanted me to set up our printer. We changed routers, and I hadn't had a chance to reconnect it yet. Her lack of anger caught me off guard, so I did it. She stood behind me the entire time, silently, and wouldn't let me see anything. We've had several more fights along the same lines. But yesterday on Thanksgiving, we actually had a decent day. Not overly affectionate or anything like that. We just didn't fight. She slept until 12:50 p.m. and was grumpy because I didn't have everyone completely ready yet. She wanted the girls already in their car seats. Then she started a 90-minute shower and makeup routine and helped with the kids maybe 20 minutes total. We were an hour late to Thanksgiving dinner, but for us that counted as a good day. Yes, there was no affection or anything else, and we didn't talk in the car, but my mind just forgot all the problems we were having, and I wanted it to work. That night I woke up and took care of one of the girls who was very sick. The only thing she handled exclusively was taking care of the kids when they woke up. She used to take the kids from me when I got up before her. She says it's because I work. During an argument back in September, she screamed at me that I was selfish for picking up my daughter and holding her. I said I didn't mind, and I wasn't sleeping anyway. Somehow that turned into me not letting her sleep because I can't sleep. The problem is that this became her trump card in every argument. But anyway, I was with our daughter from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. while she slept. This morning I woke up at 9 a.m., the latest I can remember. I started making breakfast for the kids and finishing the laundry. She was already working on her laptop. She snapped at me that I shouldn't clean the house because she had hired someone. I really tried not to escalate things and told her that we can't afford a cleaner and that I would take care of it. She called me a little bitch and screamed in my face in front of my kids. One of my sons ran and hid, and the other sat reading on the couch but was clearly upset. She accused me of not having time to clean, not having money, and not being able to clean or do laundry to her standards, and that she's not a maid. This went on for about an hour of nonstop insults. So I spent today cleaning the house, doing laundry, and taking care of all 4 kids. My son's cleaned more today than she has all month. What really worries me isn't even the insults toward me. I've normalized that and I'm used to it. And honestly, if she kept it behind closed doors, I'd probably wait out the next 17 years and leave when the kids are grown. But my oldest son is clearly copying her behavior and absorbing all the stress. It doesn't help that she constantly wants me to ask him things like, who's your favorite? Who yells more? And who's the better parent? When I refuse, I'm afraid of what he might say. I think Reddit that I don't know what to do. I'm trying to fix this. I'm keeping the counseling appointment. But beyond that, other than speaking to an attorney, I don't know what else I should do. She genuinely doesn't see any problem with the way she treats me. Her refrain is, I'm a diamond, and if you leave me, you'll only date pebbles. Besides the fact that I don't want a divorce and she has been threatening divorce for the last 6 years, I don't know how I can make someone understand. Someone who is so detached from reality or seems so closed off to recognizing that they play a role in causing and solving problems in a marriage.
This is where the story ends. Unfortunately, there were no further updates. What do you think about all of this? What advice would you give the author? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this story, and I'll see you in the next video.